And now, the World Situation Report with Kimberly Gogan from the Office of the Guardian. Yesterday, all operations of the Global Intelligence Agency went into full swing. And today it all begins as the legions arrive. Who are they and what do they do? And we'll answer 3 of your video questions as we connect with Kim. And now here's Kimberly Gogan with the Office of the Guardian. Kim, I'm excited for today's update.
You should be.
Yeah.
You should be. Where do you want to start?
I don't know. I don't know everything that's going on. But you were saying something about the White House. So I don't know. Do you want to start there? What makes sense?
Well, let's start with what we have done, what we did yesterday. So I did tell you in our last update that I was going to go kick some ground command butt.
Yes, you did.
And kick butt we have, with a few exciting twists and turns. So this is actually an incredible story that we're going to tell today. So, all right. Let's see. Okay, let's start with the coalition. So we've talked about the coalition and who they are. We've talked about the archivists and who they are and where they're from. And we've talked about the fact that there are many groups that are coming and going. Yeah. So it became pretty apparent that, we're going round and round with these. If it's not Monarch, then it'd be CyberLife. If it's not CyberLife, then it was Rothschild. If it's not Rothschild, and someone always steps up into a position. And I felt like we were doing this, one pushes, the other pushes, one pushes, the other pushes. And we were getting nowhere. So in light of the fact that today is the 15th, and I told you it was going to be a special day, and special day it has been. Actually, I've been up since about 12:15 last night. So if I sound a little tired, I am a little tired. I'm a lot of tired right now. Yeah. So we started with the coalition. They were called right after the news broadcast. And they all agreed that they could be in position to where we needed them to be by 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, which was yesterday. And in position they were. So they have all been telling everyone and everywhere they went, and I'll tell you where they've gone, that they are GIA and they work for me. And they are here. Yes, we ensured also that the archivist re-delivered the bankruptcy papers and the martial law papers, which puts us in charge, and GIA is the administrator, to the Treasury Department, to Congress, to Langley, and several other locations. So in position they were yesterday in the morning. And they went into all of those locations plus, and we'll get into the plus in just a minute. We started with the United States because whatever happens here happens everywhere else. That's one thing. And number 2, we also started here because it is the deep states, or the 15 militaries, Monarch, Etal, largest control center. Okay. So the Treasury, let's start with Treasury. Treasury, they were approached the Treasury first thing in the morning. They removed the Citadel, which is the security for the Treasury Department. There was a few little altercations and a few little kerfuffles, but these are very talented folks. So if someone pulled a gun on them, the gun would disappear. If they continued, then they would disappear. And a lot of people have disappeared in the last 24 hours. And I'll give you a final count. Next, they went into Congress, into the Capitol building, into Washington, D.C., explained to everybody that everything is going to change. You will need to pull together an interim budget, in which we will not be funding any corporations. We are not funding any third-party entities. Yeah, we're not doing that either. I told you I'm tired, so you're going to have to bear with all my bloopers, okay? We're going to leave it in there. And we'll probably add it to the blooper reel we do at the end of every year. So Tired Kim has been working now for almost 12 hours, and it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. I know. That you will work this way. You will do what we say. You will say what we tell you to say, and nothing more and nothing less. If you choose not to, you will depart this planet.
Wow.
Next, they also went to the Pentagon yesterday and did the same thing. We are in charge. Now, they are all currently still there.
Nice.
Nobody has moved. So the GIA has officially taken the Pentagon, the Treasury, and Congress. Now, they also began hunting down those who believe they were in charge of the White House. This is your monarch militaries. This is your rotten children remaining people, and all those that could possibly call and possibly influence the White House. So this was also done yesterday. They were very successful. They're very good at disappearing people in a non-brutal way. You just depart on a one-way ticket to source, and that's it. Yeah. For those that did not want to comply. And so far, we're at 100% of them not wanting to comply on that level. Yep. They were expecting help today on the 15th, and they actually got anti-help today.
Yes, they did.
Explain to you more about that in a minute. So they did try calling the Treasury Department as well. This is before their departure. And we answered the phone. And they, asked to speak to somebody else. And they said, no, you can talk to us. What would you like? And they said, nope, we're in charge here now. And hung up the phone. So the Treasury Department has asked for security, which they have been afforded, all of them individually and the building and themselves well at work. They've also been promised financial security, so no one's going to come in and steal anything. So they have a lot of security there. Now, they have also asked that the GIA, I use that term loosely, if they would speak to all the treasuries around the world and would be willing to provide protection for all the treasuries around the world. And the answer to the question was yes, because they know if they move forward here, then everybody else is going to want to move forward elsewhere, and or they will be attacked. Yeah. For example, Treasury of UK, Treasury in China, they didn't want anybody to be attacked because they were concerned about their colleagues, and rightfully so. So we did have everybody put into position within the last 24 hours. Okay. So we are making some serious progress. We thought we were, and we did. We made some excellent progress on our own yesterday. We did very well. We had set forth additional plans on how we were going to approach the White House and a number of other places. And then an interesting twist and turn happened last night. Okay. Now, no one tells me anything. Source should communicate, be a better communicator. But he does it on purpose because I never stop. Whatever I'm supposed to do, I just keep going and going and going. And the thought process behind all of those plans laid out was actually, unbeknownst to me at the time, not only in preparation for the archivist and the coalition and our group, it was actually in preparation for some new arrivals that came in last night like gangbusters. Yes, oh yes. We were not expecting this. This was a zippy and exciting twist for me. So let me give you a little backstory, and then I'll tell you what's happening right now, because it's very exciting for me. So, in the beginning, when we moved into the Dark Ages, and this is why the families and the 15 militaries were under the impression they were going to get help today. So, we talked about 11/11 in our current calendar being the day that we flipped into the Dark Ages officially. And it took a few days.
To the light age. You said into the
No,
dark
when we
ages.
flipped into the Dark Age 3 billion years ago.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going back to what happened before.
Gotcha.
So at that time, about 3 or 4 days, it's about 70, little more than 72 hours went by, and a legion of fallen angels arrived to usher in the Dark Age.
Mm-hmm.
And that is officially when everything started. So they started removing all those of the light, removing all of those of source, and they took over this planet. And then you have the infrastructure as we have seen it for the last, 3 billion years. And then, in comings and goings at the time. That's where Marduk came in, always in cooperation with the fallen angels, because that was the plan under a dark age. Well, this time they were under the impression these folks were coming back and they were going to save them. But the opposite happened last night. So the reason why all my alarms in my phone, or not my phone, but the computer, everything was ringing last night, was because these folks, the non-fallen angels, wanted permission to enter. They had arrived. So over the course of about 3 hours to 4 hours this morning, if you call that morning, we had 120,000 arrivals of what you would consider sources angels.
Wow.
Yep. So our little plans of cleaning places and cleaning houses and doing all the things was nothing compared to what I've seen since that time.
Okay.
Now, yesterday, and I forgot to tell you about this part, they had actually also gone to Mar-a-Lago, and there were terms and conditions given to the family members. Some operatives departed because they're crazy. And they were given terms and conditions about when they're going to make their announcement. They asked for a few days. They were given a very short window. So if they do not comply, they will no longer be with us either. And that is how this is working. You do exactly what we say, or you are no longer here. Now, the legions are the cleanup crew. That's what they're here to do. They are here to clean up any remnants of the dark ones. Now, these are non-repairable humans, quote unquote. And they have plowed through 252,000 people, non-complying people, since midnight last night, Mountain Time.
Oh my goodness.
And the numbers are rising like crazy. They are getting rid of anyone with a dark consciousness, anyone on the old program, anyone that refuses to comply. It is quick, it is simple, it is easy, it is not complicated, and they are here under, obviously, on high orders. Mm-hmm. They are going in everywhere. Thus far,
well, I was just going to say, Kim, what do people see? Do they see a human in front of them? Do they not see anything at all? Does it just kind of, you know what I'm saying? Do they see a blue light? What do they see when?
No, they actually see a human. But even yesterday when the coalition was at the Treasury Department, you had some people whispering in there, are those angels? Who are they? Because they don't look quite right. The higher the density, the less like a human they can have themselves look. So there's a little oddity about them. And then, how many people do you know can walk into a gunfight and make the guns disappear? So there's that too, and that's caught on camera. A lot of that's been caught on camera. Obviously, there's security cameras in the Treasury building, in New York and in DC. So far today, other than the departed ones, we pretty much, they're going to continue until there is no non-compliant ones left. They have actually, now to answer your question, they have actually shown their true selves to a few folks. A few of the 15 military have seen them before their departure.
Okay.
There has been some showings at the White House, because after they got rid of all the people that were around the White House that could influence the White House, they have now taken the White House. They sat everybody down, told them there's going to be changes, things are going to be different, everything is going to happen. They asked who they were there on behalf of. They first asked if they were there on behalf of Trump, and my head almost spun around like The Exorcist. I'm like, oh my God, no. Well, that's because Monarch Military and Umbrella Military told them Trump would be back in the White House by January, and that was a lie. I know. Boy. So the legions informed them, no, they're on behalf of Ground Commander, gave them my name. I am also the director of the GIA, and yes, they work directly with the GIA, and there will be changes in this country, is what they said. They asked if who was going to be in the White House if it wasn't going to be Trump.
Oh, with the White House. Oh,
I know. Oh,
when
for
an
the love
angel
of Christ.
shows up, guys, don't ask who the president's going to be.
They said there might be an interim government, possibly military, is what they said.
Okay.
Now, at this moment in time, things are going very well. So we'll see. You know, there's still people disappearing that work in the Pentagon. They will continue to disappear if they continue to not comply. They are not to pick up the phone from Monarch Military or anybody else that happens to call. There were 4 chief of staff, we could call them the Chinese deep state section of the White House, that were ushered out, said, thank you for your service. Goodbye. You'll be compensated for your work. And that's it. Yep.
Wow.
So this is all since we last spoke on Monday. Tremendous progress. Now, this will be done in every single country on earth until either the governments comply or people die. That is the way it's going to be. They also, in Langley, things went actually better than expected. They were sick and tired of listening to these people and going around in circles.
Wow.
I know.
Interesting.
They were like, welcome. I know.
They open the doors.
Open the doors. You know, have some hors d'oeuvres. Grab some tea. Let's have a chat.
So is that the generals then? When we talk about Langley,
No. That's not Langley 5. This is actual the building Langley, and yes.
Okay. Yeah.
They will make the rounds through to the FBI. They have also visited the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is going to be no more, and they know it. They are going to need more personnel because there are some people that work there that are not bad people. So, like Susan Stanwyck, she's all for the gold standard and that kind of thing. So there's a few people in there that are decent people, and they suggested that we create a new division of the Treasury Department that would handle the law making and enforcement, and that would handle I'm not using the term regulation anymore because it won't be a regulatory thing. Regulations are not laws. They are mere suggestions by a third-party consultant. That's the Fed. Because the Fed's not actually part of the government, as all of you know, watching this. So will you see some changes? The answer to the question is yes. We do expect that, according to those at the Treasury, they have said they should be ready to go by Friday. They should have everything in place, everyone in place in all the treasuries and everything that has been requested. All the other government departments will have been addressed so to speak. They will be going into banks later on this afternoon. They have actually gone in and, let's just say, either removed or took out boards in media companies completely.
Wow.
In preparation for what is to come. Next, there'll be some serious staff meetings going on in the larger news outlets. I would say a lot of the news outlets come from America, the ones that are global, but there are a few that don't. But they will be going to them all, sitting everybody down and letting the agency people, known as journalists, know how things are going to go, and either they're going to comply and have a job or not. They will announce what they're supposed to announce, just like good actors do. And the other folks over in Congress will also be complying with what they are supposed to say and announce. So this should probably start happening by next week. I don't expect public disclosure until things are sort of wrapping up. I do expect to hear a few death announcements by the end of the month. That is what I have been told. I've been told how much time they would have, but I don't like to give times, because then if something happens and there's a hiccup, then I'm wrong and everybody will yell at me. So I don't want that. So I would say to you, my guess would be is before the end of the month. I can tell you, if you are watching this from the White House, there is a cold chance in whatever we put another dead person in the seat. So it will be a living human. It will not be me, although I will be the president of basically every country during this transition. So, I'd say put your seats in the upright position and buckle your seatbelt, because we're coming in for a landing into Restoration Station. I know.
That's incredible.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Oh
You will see these people. I do expect they will be participating in media. So you will see these people at some point. You, because you are in the know, will probably notice that something is a little bit different. I expect you'll see them, maybe even standing in the background during some press conferences and places like that, because there is no more room for error.
Wow.
Yep. The done button had been hit.
If we do see them on media, besides the people that might just be standing in the background, would they be saying they're from the GIA? Would they be on camera at all?
There will be public announcements for that too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There'll be a lot of public announcements about GIA and CARE. If they are, if they want funding, if they are going to survive, if they're going to be breathing and upright, there will be. They have also been to the United Nations. Today have not been to the World Bank and the IMF as yet. They're picking the ones that usually drive the bus of others in other countries. You can't go to a country in Africa, for example, without first addressing the United Nations. You can't go to the Middle East unless you address NATO. So there's a lot of things that have to take place in a certain sequence, but they're moving very, very quickly. So this isn't going to be a lengthy process, where they're hoping that they will be ready to go somewhere or do something by the 17th of November. We're running out of time, especially here in the United States and in governments all around the world, because most people are taking off for a holiday break around that time. Friday is usually the last day of business. We can make that not so or so. And then everybody readjourns in January. So we're trying to keep things, the interim budgets and interim situations and moving rapidly, because they won't have anything to come back to in January if we don't. So right now, there are, like I said, there's a lot of departed ones that didn't want to comply, and that's okay. And there's no more someone else is going to step up, because you cannot lie to these people. Not people, but you can't lie to these folks. You cannot. They can read your mind. They can read your intent. They can tell if you're telling the truth or not. So there's no lying to these people. They're fast, efficient, and they intend to have this planet cleaned up in rapid order. And I wish they understood what time it was here when they woke me up this morning. But
Hey, but that's good news to be woken up to. You know what I mean?
I know. But, it started out with like every alarm ringing, and I'm like, oh
I bet
dear,
that was yeah.
And I'm not
Nervous.
talking about your little alarm clock that plays a pleasant tune or trickling waterfalls, in the morning. It was like wah wah wah, and I'm like, okay, what?
I could just picture you looking for the glasses that you wear to protect your eyes. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of still taking everything in. Like, we've never had this much help before. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like
I know. We have never had this much help ever. I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't. Uh, I did, because of course, when all the alarms go off like that, the first thing you do is you go direct, right, and ask what's going on.
Sure.
And he said, today it all begins. And I said, okay. That's the big boss, right? He said, today it all begins.
Yeah.
And just kind of smiled. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
good. I don't know what's
Yeah.
beginning, but it sounds good. Comes from you. Okay, I trust you. Anything you need me to do?
So for the 120,000 that are here, how long do you think they'll be here? I know they've got some work to do, but you said that they're moving fast. Any
Yeah,
ideas?
they will be here until the transition is complete. Um, Here's the other bit of news too: is that these will be your new participators in industry for care as well. They will be helping getting care off and running.
Oh,
Uh,
great. Okay.
yes, in some cases, there are a lot of members of the coalition and others that will be heading companies now. Large companies that you would consider cabal companies that give us poison.
Yeah.
They are moving in to those positions as CEO and boards of those companies as well. This is a complete hostile takeover
Yeah.
of every cabal asset you can think of. If you go on the internet, it tells you about Disney. It tells you about all these different corporations around the world. 5 companies run all of media companies in the world. So you can imagine where we've been already this morning and where we're going after that, on down the line. I'm not expecting this to take as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought, wow, I'm a good strategist, Monday, I'm a good strategist and I'm going to go kick some ground command butt and I'm going to get this done. And here's the plan. And we're going to go here. And how many do we have? And, and I'm putting people in positions and we're going to make this work one way or the other. And we would have gotten it done. I mean, it would have happened. But holy crap, these people came in guns a-blazing, taking no prisoners whatsoever, extreme prejudice applied everywhere, and they're coming soon to a theater near you. So they're going to be in your neck of the woods if you're not watching this from the U.S. very soon. There are a lot of corporations, worldwide global corporations that are based here. So there'll be some that will still be here. They're putting other people in position. So you could kind of technically say that we've actually had an alien invasion. So maybe the deep state wasn't wrong.
That's what they wanted.
They wanted it.
They called themselves with the immortals. They wanted the immortals to come and,
and they did.
Well, I'm pretty
They're
sure
just not your friend. That's all. They're our friends. They're our peeps.
What you wish for.
I know. That's exactly right. Remember, the universe doesn't recognize no, not, we won't, all it gets is the other words, especially in an organic universe. So it's only, it doesn't use the negative terms or the opposite. So you got one, guys. But
Congratulations.
those of you that are still breathing, if you, at the time of this broadcast,
Yeah.
by the time we're done here, we'll probably be up to 300,000. I'm sure.
Do you have any idea how high it's going to go?
I was surprised about that they had already pinpointed the pinch points in all these locations before they went. They ushered people out the door. They knew exactly who the holdouts were in every particular case, who was still listening. They had gone and explained, to people. So I was surprised. They had already hit the targets,
Yeah.
I guess it's not hard to read when you're reading from a certain level. But
Sure.
they had already picked out who had to go immediately before they even opened their mouth and said what's going to happen, just in case. Yep. So very interesting happenings. And I do expect it's going to hit mainstream media soon. No, it is. You could call them white hats. They do not wear hats typically. No, I'm just kidding.
They're more blue, right? When you get that high up, aren't you more blue, like your natural state of being? Aren't you more of like a
eighth density?
light?
Yes, that's part of the coalition.
Yeah.
But when you come from where the 120,000 came from, you are white.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
That's closer to source. Were they in the ninth density?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You could literally say we got stormed by 120,000 angels last night. And it would be the truth. And what your sense is and where they come from and where they live. Yes, we did. So it's not only the coalition and the colonies and the council and those folks that's all eighth density and down, for the most part. And they were already doing this. They were already here. We were already moving on. We were cleaning up. We were doing the thing, what we're supposed to be doing. And these guys came in here blazing. You could call today Judgment Day, if you will. The departure of many souls.
Right.
Day. Right. So all great things for humanity. I know people are going to freak out a little bit. No, they are not looking for you that cheated on your test at school, and whatever. They're not looking for that person. They're looking. That's not a bad person. That's just a person that, did some things. They're looking for those that are not going to comply with the restoration of the planet and the restoration of the universe. Those that are still waiting for demons to come and save them. Those that are clinging on to the dark consciousness for life. Those that are still continue to try to hack computer systems using what little remnant of dark matter omega system you can find. That's who they're going after. Those are people that are non-compliant with what is going on this planet. So we replaced the bus drivers. Now we'll see how many passengers get to stay on the bus. See what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Does that mean like whole families are being wiped out? Like, is there no such thing as a Rothschild after this?
There will be after this is done, unless they plan to comply. Some of the younger ones did choose to comply. Now they are also under 24-hour a day, 7-day a week watch. One wrong step and they're out. There is no leeway in this case. So there have been, like I said, some that have not been participating in the, family games, and, they're maybe in their 20s or 30s or something like that. They're not yet to that we've done the ritual thing kind of people, men and women.
Well, that makes me think of like people that, like celebrities and stuff that we know have done horrible rituals and things in the past. Would they be included on that list?
Today is a new day. You start today. What are you going to do today? Are you going to continue to do this? Are you going to continue to use adrenochrome? Are you going to continue to, summon demons? Are you going to continue? You have been informed, you have been warned, and they will know, regardless of the words that come out of their mouth, what's going on in their mind.
Sure.
So the heavy cleanup crew came. Guess there's some truth to that. What, what they said about this is kind of like a reverse rapture sort of thing, isn't it?
I, I know people were saying that on Telegram. That's kind of what I felt too. I felt like, wow, the good people are supposed to go, but it looks like all the bad people are going pretty quickly. Yeah.
I know. Why wouldn't we, get to stay as long as we want on this, hopefully in the future, as long as we want, on
Yeah.
this big, beautiful ball of ours.
Yeah.
We earned it. We've lived through the muck. We've,
Yeah.
we've been the ones that have been running around on a hamster wheel. We should be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And hopefully soon it'll be the labor of love, no longer running on a hamster wheel. But we should be, for all, there is no going back. So there's no squirrel. You remember I used to talk about the squirrel?
Yeah.
They all make a decision that they're going to do something. And then before you know it, there's a squirrel. Oh, we forgot this ancient text. There's an alignment with Uranus. There's none of that anymore. There's no room for any of that anymore. That is not even a possibility. So if they say they're going to move forward, it might be a day or two off, depending on the circumstances. But, if they say they're going to move forward on Friday, I don't anticipate it being any longer than next week. That's my guess. We'll see. Right. There will be some requirements. And there will be no more squirrels. I mean, not squirrels per se. I like squirrels.
We like
They're cute.
Squirrels, just for the record. We do
no more
like
right turns, no more left turns, no more, oh, look, lies and fairy tales of, Trump's the man or whatever, or he's going to save the world and, from beyond the grave, and no more lies to the people. No more lies. Yeah. No more promises, no more fantasies, no more fake money coming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the next full moon, new moon, kill more people. No more. Right. We are on the upturn, guys.
So now that you have all this help, I mean, are you still running operations, or are you able to sit back and just kind of watch things happen?
No, we are still running operations together for sure. I still have my part to do in the cleanup. It's not the same part, but then, I've got to walk the walk too. If we running in there, we're saying we're going to do this, we're saying we're going to do that. You have to, unlike the deep state, we actually do exactly what we say we're going to do. There's no, if we say we're going to do it, it is done. So I have to be there too on that, and from that aspect of it. If we say we're going to do something, then we're going to do it. So right now, the GIA is, by the end of the day, will be running the White House completely.
That's incredible.
With or without the people that are in it. And I'm not talking about the dead people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
coming soon to your country.
What should we be doing during all of this? Because obviously this is a really exciting time and people are all amped up and, we want to see them. We want to interact with them. We want to do all that. But what should we be doing right now?
Well, we haven't deviated from our plan. We are still moving forward with technologies and things for care. We will be able to get started faster, and we will not have to worry about protection. As far as, someone going to steal your project, this is actually what's changed for all of you as individuals. You'll have a lot more of an opportunity. We're not killing scientists anymore that invent cures for disease. We're not doing those things anymore, and we're not going to be under threat of somebody wanting to do that anymore. There'll be a lot of change in industry. That'll probably take some time. I would say, there's no board to convince anymore. There's no CEOs to convince anymore. That will be the case. You either comply or you're out, or you're really out, like way out, like not coming back out. There are You'll see changes in mainstream media, is what I've been told, immediately, like very soon, like very soon. Uh, for all of you, will probably be smiling because you've been watching our news. So when you start to hear these things on mainstream media, you can tell all those people that thought you were crazy that you're not crazy. See, look, haha, see, you know,
Yeah.
it's a very useful tool. So I'm impressed. I never knew that we would be receiving such a gift. I'm very grateful and thankful for it. I didn't know we get that. I didn't know it comes with a package at the end. You know,
That's a bonus, big bonus.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like when remember back in what was it, the 80s or 90s, you get the Ginzu knives and you get the bonus, you know, frying
Exactly.
pan or whatever they gave you with,
But only for a limited time.
only for a limited time. That's right. We'll have them for a limited time. So act now.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow.
I know. So we'll have hopefully some more news on Friday regarding the progress. This has been a wild ride for the last, little over about 30 hours now for me. So but I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm thankful. It looks like, we are going to be able to move forward without pain, without fighting deep state people, without listening to false narratives anymore. It's going to help wake up, everyone else. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm grateful and thankful for all that's happened. Before we get into questions, though, I had one more thing I wanted to cover. That's okay with you?
Sure.
Um, we have launched our merchandise line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that is exciting. I can see a lot of people have already found it, but for those of you that are not on Telegram or don't regularly look at our Telegram channels, you can find it on our actual website, which you should visit anyway. It's unitednetwork.news. Unitednetwork.news, just for those of you that don't know, has all of our written news. It has links to all our Telegram channels. It has links to the Rundown podcast we have on Spotify. You can also find links to United Network Plus and loads of information on there. When we have released the full situation reports, there are a few of those on there too. So it's all in one centralized location, very easy to find. So I encourage you to take a look at our site. If you haven't already. It's been around for a while, but it's constantly improving. It looks wonderful. And now we've added the new shop tab. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we're doing this. Because number one, everybody's wanted it for a while. And we're constantly adding new things because the store is very new. But we are doing this because we have started to reach out, and I think you've also done that too, Sunny, to some schools in the area, in different areas of the country that normally see children in transition. So perhaps children that were homeless and are moving into foster care, or that are homeless currently. I think in your area, when we looked it up, there was over 5,800 children that they serve. And we are adopting kids and or families for the holidays. So this is something you can do on your own. And this is something you can do through buying UNN merchandise and get some really cool stuff. So either way, this is what we have chosen to do. We are going to be Santa. I think, Sunny, you're going to actually play Santa, aren't you?
Yeah, I hope so. That's the plan. Yeah, I want to get my kids involved and give back.
So we're hopefully, depending on what they'll allow us to do and not allow us to do, because we don't know that yet, we're hopefully going to introduce you to some of these places that help these children. And either way, we take in the wish list. This is how this works. We take in a wish list, and they'll tell us some things that they need. Sometimes it's something as simple as shoes or clothes or toiletries or those types of things. And And sometimes it's a bike or toys or something, but normally kids that are in that situation are just in dire need of a jacket or some shoes or things like that. So we get a lot more of that than we get of anything else this time of year. So we're really excited about the program. So we will continue to do programs throughout the year, even after the holidays. So we might not be playing Santa. Next, you might see Sunny being the Easter Bunny. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Is that the next one? I was thinking there's something like a Valentine's Day thing.
Oh, Valentine's Day thing. Yeah,
Spread
we
the
could
love.
do Cupid. You'd look great in the little diaper thingy.
No tights. No.
Maybe no, but there are plenty of other needs right now as we go forward, and hopefully we won't need it much longer. But in the interim, we're doing our best to try to help as many as we can, when we can with what we have. So that is the reason for it. You can go to that website. You can also go to shop.unitednetwork.news, which will bring you to the same page. Yeah. But I encourage you to take a look at all the information that is there. We get a lot of questions on Telegram and other places, emails and whatnot. Where's this information? Where's this? Where's the links? And so it's all right there for you, all in one nice, neat little package. It's also where you submit your field messenger reports.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a very convenient little link. You just upload right there. It's really easy. So we have also sent out our first 2 field messenger hats, Miss Sunny.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yep. And
we're announcing another one on Friday. So that happens every Friday. That's what she's talking about, guys.
Yeah.
The field messenger hats you can win. Yeah.
Yeah. And we might also be adding some polo shirts and stuff to the mix too for our field messengers. And so things are going pretty well in that realm of things. We had a few little hiccups with international deliveries that have been fixed. We were kind of fixing things on the fly yesterday, but I think we've got all the bugs worked out, and we'll be adding some more merchandise on there too. We have some stuff coming out that we have some things on there for like GHWC as well, and we'll be coming out with some care stuff as well in the near future, and some fun little Kim sayings on there you can find. That my little phrases that I always say. So so I'm excited about it. I love the stuff. Yeah. I actually ordered some stuff too. So looking forward to getting my sweatshirts and my things.
Your swag.
My swag.
Your swag.
Yeah, I didn't. It's like, what do you call it? I don't know. My swag. I'm getting my new swag. Yeah, I'm probably going to get some tote bags for the grocery store because we have to buy bags now. So, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. You too over there in California, don't you?
Been doing that. I always forget. And I get to the checkout and I'm like, gosh, darn it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're coming up with a system here. We're going to put take the bags out, and then as we're leaving for the store, we got to put the bags in. So there's always bags in the car. Yeah. So I don't go, darn it, because this is new for us here. We just started that this year. So, so that's about it. Right. I'm really excited.
I am too. Are you ready for some video questions?
Yeah.
All right. Let's
I'm a little tired today, guys. So this is slap happy Kim you're getting today.
It's all good. All right. We'll be right back.
On today's Real Talk, we're talking about the psychic power of spirit. And as humanity, are we open to it or are we skeptical?
When we expand consciousness, we can't help to be spiritual. We can't help to be intuitive. We can't help to be psychic when we expand consciousness. Those are results. Mm-hmm. Intuition is a result of expansion of perspective, not some sort of talent that we have. It's a result. And we all have the abilities to expand consciousness to experience, a broaden our perspective. So once you get to the root, I would say the root cause of why a skeptic is really skeptic, that they just can't think outside the box. and they're not piecing together the whole aspect of existence in itself, well, then they just appear to be very limited. If you don't want to do the work, then you have no valid debate, basically, I tell the skeptics, and they don't say anything more.
And now it's time to connect with Kim. Our news team has selected 3 questions from the audience, and here's the first one.
Hi, Kim. This is John Press coming from Bristol in the United Kingdom. My question is, what is black goo? Where did it come from? What does it do? Should we be wary of it? You're doing a fantastic job. Fantastic work. Please keep it up. We all love you. Thank you.
So what is the black goo, Kim?
Black goo is a substance. It is a compilation of metals and dark matter and dark energy. It often comes in a box. Sometimes you see it in some larger mechanisms, but this is what you would call the mainframe. You know, you have your circuit board, and on, you know, if you open up your computer, your laptop, you'll see your motherboard and your circuit board, and these are a part of the circuit board. Black goo houses a tremendous amount of data, and for lack of a better term, software. And it would connect oftentimes to various programs that were running from the lower astral. So you could have a consciousness program. It would run. So it would take in collective data from the mainframe of Omega or Kronos or one of those, and it would feed the information into the consciousness, and then eventually into you or other beings or planets, suns and stars, to manipulate the consciousness as one example, or the energy, or manipulate matter itself, or manipulate the astral plane, or manipulate computers, or manipulate. So it had its own little instruction set in there that was implanted in it, because it's essentially a little piece of Omega. And there were decatillions of these boxes throughout the multiverse, and we had loads of them here on Earth for a long time. There were loads of them on every planet in our galaxy. Were everywhere. I don't even know how the moon exists when you took them all away, because there's so many of them there. Oftentimes, they're triggered by a mechanism we call a petrograph. So if it's something that's set to happen at a certain time or a day, or upon a change of condition, it would then, the petrograph would then hit the box, because it sends a frequency to the box and then turns that box on, and the program begins running. This is the base root behind the Armageddon programs and other things, Doom 33, which you've probably heard about, and a number of all of these different programs that you see running. It also ran frequency programs as well that were behind our media and a lot of other programs. The deep state never really had full access to these boxes. They couldn't actually program the boxes. These were programs that were set here by others, not humans. So they were also took a part in our matrices that we had talked about last year, or earlier this year. God, it's been a long year. So that's what black goo is, and that's where it comes from. It comes from the 9th density of the lower astral.
Are they all gone, all those boxes?
You know, we occasionally find one here and there. They're not. Remember, it's got to be connected to something or triggered by something in order to start running a program. If it's supposed to, sometimes what you'll see is, you know, we might find the odd box, and you know, it's meant to do something, so it sends out like implants and parasites, and with the intention of infecting with dark consciousness or something, and then it doesn't really go anywhere because there's no consciousness behind it. We clean up the mess, clean up the box, and keep it moving. So that's what black goo is.
All right, here's our next question.
Hi, Dennis Kane from San Diego, California. Even before the end of the ages, the end of the yugas, you, Marina Jacobi, and Bashar, who was recommended by Marina, said that reincarnation was a choice. It was a program. Vedic cosmology, however, seems to tell us that reincarnation is necessary until all forms of karma have been resolved. Have the rules changed for those of us attempting the transition into the ninth density of unbroken union with Source? And what is the effect on the law of karma? Thanks for your help. God bless you all.
This is from my neck of the woods. Dennis. All right, so reincarnation, is that a mandatory thing? Is that a choice? What does that have to do with karma?
Okay. Karma is a program. It's part of the incarnation program. So what they mean by that is we know that you would descend into the depths of what you would call hell or the lower astral. And the more sins that you created, and the more service to self you were, the more, the more evil you were, I guess, in your previous life, would then descend you into further depths of the lower astral. Now, this is a program unto itself of the Dark Ages. Remember, Source itself was limited during the Dark Ages, and anti-Source was, quote unquote, in charge due to that alignment that happened 3 billion years ago. So karma is payment for your deeds. That's what they call it. So payment for your deeds would descend you into the further depths of hell, so to speak, and you're constantly trying to move up the ranks in the incarnation program and not have your soul stuck there versus here. Now, karma in a light universe isn't necessary when we grow. The incarnation program is not necessary. It never was necessary, except in a dark age, predominantly because we were no longer creating life on this side of the multiverse. Therefore, in order to preserve all of the remaining beings on the light side of the multiverse, we had to have death. In other words, we had to have a loss of a vessel and a transition of that soul coming back.
Right.
Now that the Creator is creating again, we have unlimited souls again in the organic world. We don't need an incarnation program anymore. Now, when I say we start today, I mean we start today. The 7 Deadly Sins program and its consciousness programs are 9 deadly sins, including death. The death program, the guilt and shame program consciousnesses, those were all consciousness programs that were running within you. So the guilt and shame is built into every religious and prophecy, not just religious texts, but also other types of spiritual advisory, new age, stuff, everything that you can think of out there. These are just things that I can think of off the top of my head, but it's built in there to make you feel guilt and shame, to make you feel you're not worthy. And I can tell you that you are. And start today. It doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It doesn't matter what you did last week. It doesn't even matter the decisions you made this morning. You've now been informed. Source is not looking to punish you for anything. Most of what happened and what people have done has been unavoidable if you are going to survive in the way that our world is. So you can't go backwards. Those programs were permitted by both sides to be implemented during a dark age by agreements and covenants and many other things. So now we start anew. So to answer your question, no, an incarnation cycle is no longer necessary now that we have and have had for a number of months now our progenitors back. So we have sources now regenerating organic life. In the near future, there'll be no such thing as death. There will be a consciousness transfer. When you're ready to change or move or go to another location, nothing on the internet is going to explain to you the things you're going to learn in the next 5 to 10 years. Nothing will explain it to you. So I hope that answers your question.
Oh, that's so exciting. I love it. Okay. And our final question.
Hi, Kim. My name is Myrna, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you for all the work that you're doing on behalf of humanity. It's really tremendous. My question is, the beings that are here right now, in order to raise the frequency of the planet, are they in positions, in work positions, or are they just walking around, in crowded places like airports and train stations? Or where are they? Where are they going?
We got a lot more beings here now.
Yeah, it depends on which ones you're talking about.
Yeah, which ones?
But to answer your question, yes, they are walking amongst you. They are no longer under threat of what they would consider a threat, which would have been, the Mardukes, the Draco, and the lower astral beings, those types of things. People on that level, or folks, I should say, because they're not people. Folks on that level are not, we have different, and they have different fighting skills. It's not like Jackie Chan and Kung Fu. So they're not afraid of what could happen if there is a run-in with a human. So they are more than ever now walking right amongst you. So if you go to the next time you go to the airport and you're people watching, take a look and see, look with all your eyes. So you look with the eyes that you have, that we're used to using, and then also look with your third eye, and maybe you'll see something different. You can connect that energy that's in your solar plexus. Then you can pull it up through to your brain, and then you can extend it out almost like an antenna. And in the presence of that source light, you'll start to see something different. So look with all your eyes and you will see them walking around. Don't say, I need someone to just do it for me and show me who they are, Show yourselves. You're not going to be that guy in the middle of Times Square, are you? The end of year, show yourselves, or what is that guy with the guitar, the naked cowboy guy in Times Square?
Oh, naked.
Yeah, don't be the crazy person, but do it this way, and they'll know you're there. They'll know your energy is touching, but most of the time they can tell you're not a threat. They can tell you just are curious. You just want to know. You just want to see. So in a short form, this is one way to deal with that. You can amplify the power of your brain by pulling that source energy up from your solar plexus to your brain, and then send it out like an antenna, and think of it like X-ray glasses at that point, because your eyes are going to see something different. So be interesting to see how many people try it. And, of course, report, I guess, underneath in the Telegram chat, underneath the news broadcast, what you found. So it'll be interesting.
It's funny. I actually did that this morning. I didn't know the question. I didn't know we were going to be talking about this, but when I knew we had a lot more friends joining us, I did more of a telepathic thing. I mean, there may have been other stuff going on, but I just kind of sent out a message and I said, hey, if you guys want to stop by and say hi, it'd be nice to see you.
Yeah.
I know you're busy, but
if you get tired, you need a coffee.
Yeah, come on by. Cook you up some lunch, whatever.
That'll be interesting. If you, did you get any replies?
Not yet.
No?
But again, they're pretty busy right now. So, but
sure.
Everyone needs breaks. So.
They can and will respond to you.
Okay.
Yeah. You just got to listen. Same way you sent out a message, you receive the message back the same way. Remember, these are our people. These are our people. These are not their people. These are our people. So I'm really excited to see if somebody shows up for dinner. You'll have to tell us on Friday.
I will. I certainly will. All right. Well, if you guys have a question for Kim, send us a video of you on camera asking your question, and then please limit that to 30 seconds or less. To submit the video, go through our website, which Kim was telling you about before, unitednetwork.news. Under the Field Messenger tab, there's a link for that. Our news team, along with Kim, will select a few questions to answer at the end of each newscast. Anything else, Kim, you want to say?
Nope.
Guys,
nope,
sorry.
just that simple. Tired. Nope. No, have a wonderful Wednesday. And happy November 15th day.
Yeah.
Happy Return of the Legions Day.
I do feel like this should be a holiday. Seriously. I know we've talked about that, about different things in the past and the clearing and, you know, things that have, you know, happened on this planet. But a lot of people didn't necessarily see that. But I feel like this is like a pretty big thing that we may want to, you know, just make a little note in the calendar, maybe, you know, moving forward.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Maybe we will make it a holiday.
Yeah, why not? Okay, well, thank you. Amazing news. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Have a great day.